All right, we now welcome on to Inside TBT, former Buckeye and now a member of Big X TBT, CJ Jackson. CJ, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thanks, guys.
And in case you guys didn't know, CJ was my teammate. And so let's just get that out of the way right away, because anything that we say during this is said because we are teammates, and there's an understanding when you are teammates that anything's fair game. So, CJ, tell us what you've been doing to stay in shape, man. We know quarantine's going on. Have you had access to a gym? Like, what's the deal?
Not much access to a gym. Just trying to do whatever, outside workouts. I actually went outside for a couple weeks and ran the shot mile a couple times. You know how that is. And then the step-ups out there, I did a couple lunges, the finisher lunges we do. But just kind of doing what I can to stay in shape, whether it's running or just anything, trying to eat a lot better than I normally would, and just little things like that. That's hard for me. So I'm just trying to be a little bit better, trying to treat my body like a pro.
The difference between me and CJ in college, and when CJ came to Ohio State, when he transferred, we were both sophomores. We were lifting partners, which was probably – CJ got really lucky because I didn't lift as much weight as the other guy did. But CJ, the difference between me and CJ was I had to eat so insanely healthy just to have an average body of a Division I basketball player, whereas CJ would eat Cane's and Wendy's and whatever. It didn't matter, honestly. He just ate it, and then he had no problems with his body. So at Ohio State, we care a lot about our body fat for some weird reason. Like, that's all we care about.
A lot.
And CJ never had to worry about his. I had to eat lettuce and had to worry about mine. So that's why he's a professional athlete and I'm a professional podcaster.
That is true. I do remember those days, especially after the weights when we had those optional / mandatory shakes.
Oh, CJ, you played for some good coaches at Ohio State, Coach Mata, Coach Holtman. How do they stack up compared with Coach Dockich, who was the Big X coach last year?
That's a tough question because, I'm real close with all of them. But, no, Doc is real cool. I mean, he's a player's coach, kind of like how both those coaches were. And, I mean, you just want to play for somebody that's, going to let you do what you do and just have a good time out there, but also want to win, most importantly. And so the coaches at Ohio State obviously were those type of coaches. And then Doc being a little different, being more of a friend than a coach is always kind of fun experience, especially playing in TBT in that kind of environment.
Have you helped him recruit any of the players to the team?
Yeah, I would consider that. I would say I'm kind of like player / GM, assistant GM.
Whoa.
I mean, Doc will tell you a lot better. I mean, we're kind of all just chipping in a little bit, piece by piece, just kind of trying to put together not like a 2-stack team, but a team that will kind of work together, good chemistry, but also be, have good talent.
So we all know somehow Dockich gets brought up in every single interview that we do. And that's like the ongoing joke that we have. But it's well known that he's playing this year. As of right now, like, he wants to play. If he plays, who's the coach?
One of his buddies from Michigan, Jay, I forget his last name, but he's a real good guy. I've had multiple conversations with him. He knows the game. He works with the Cavs right now. So, I mean, we don't anticipate Doc being the coach, but you never know.
I mean, he's so old. He could run out of the tunnel and just call the day.
We just hope his body fat hasn't gotten too bad.
Oh, man.
CJ, we can only see a little bit of you, but you seem like you're still in basketball shape. Obviously, you've been playing professionally. How do you think TBT compares to the competition to playing professionally?
I think it's just kind of fun, especially in the summer. You're kind of gearing up for the month before guys got to go overseas or just prepare for their season. And this year, I think it'll be kind of one of the most competitive years just based on the whole delay in the NBA and there not being a summer league. So guys kind of want to just get back to playing basketball. So this year, I'm hoping it's a lot more competitive. I know it was super competitive last year, and so it should be fun.
When you look at the style of tournament like the TBT, where it's win or go home, just like the NCAA tournament. What do you think about comparing those two? You know, you're one of the younger guys in the TBT where you're fresh off of playing in the NCAA tournament and playing in some incredible games in the NCAA tournament. Where do you see the comparisons between, you know, the TBT tourney and the NCAA tourney?
I think it's very, it's close, but then once that much money's on the line, obviously it's a little bit different, and just in the sense of that. But the winner go home style is obviously a little bit added pressure, but I mean, you got to embrace it. It's what makes it fun, more competitive. The NCAA tournament, like is one of the best environments you could ever possibly play in, no matter what the sport is. So TBT is kind of trying to build that, and especially with having like the alum ending and just little things like that, it kind of adds a little bit more competition, I would say.
Speaking of the alum ending, you're known for a couple of your late game big time shots. Are you the go-to guy for Big X come alum ending?
I wouldn't say go-to guy, but I mean, I've always just kind of loved having a little bit of pressure, and I've just loved the big moments, and I've kind of just thrived on that. Just, growing up watching basketball, being a big Laker fan back in the day when Kobe was making all those game winners. So I kind of got that from there, and then I guess you could say took it to Ohio State slightly, very slightly.
Yeah, you're being very humble. CJ has in recent memory, has two of the biggest shots in Ohio State basketball history, which is crazy to say, but it's the truth. Where on the road at Indiana both times, and literally on Assembly Hall when you walk in, it says owned by CJ Jackson. Have you had a chance to get your picture in front of that yet?
No, I wish. I wish. That's one of the meccas of basketball, college basketball. So.
I was going to say, I bet by the time you left there the second time, there were flyers up, like wanted posters. This man, do not let this guy leave the state. He's too good. Every time you go to Indiana, you win. So maybe we could try to get, if not this year, in the future, some TBT games in Indy, because then we know who's making the game-winning shots.
No, that'll definitely be fun. Definitely, I wouldn't mind traveling there.
Yeah, I'm picturing Assembly Hall hosting the TBT, and Indiana has a team, so they're playing there, and they go, any team except for Big X can come.
No, hopefully they match us up last so we see each other in the championship, the regional championship.
Yeah, something that we always talk about that's so cool about TBT is kind of a bunch of random guys, even though behind the scenes it's not too random, get to play together. So who are some of the guys that you're really excited to either get back on the court with or share the court with for the first time this summer?
I would say obviously the guys that I played with at Ohio State, and just being able to, I guess not necessarily put on a Ohio State jersey again, but just put on a jersey in that kind of setting and play with them. But also like the guys that were our rivals, like Nick Ward at Michigan State. I know when playing here at Ohio State, I literally hated them. So it's a little different now, and we're kind of have the same goal, but also the guys from Wisconsin, I know they're really good players. And Khalil kind of ruined our senior night, me and Joey's senior night. So that's a tough pill to swallow. But other than that, just, everyone's are great guys, and I'm just excited to play basketball again.
Do you guys talk about a lot of the Big Ten moments that you guys shared together? Like, do you think that senior night will come up when you guys are just hanging out around TBT, or is it kind of what happened in the past is the past, we're on to this tournament?
I for sure won't be the one bringing it up, but I'm sure it'll come up. It's still kind of fresh wound for me right now, just being the last game in the shot. But no hard feelings. We had good battles. My time there, I've definitely got a couple wins against him, so we can both go back and forth there. But like I said, no hard feelings for any of the guys.
It's really easy because if he brings that up, you just let him know the year before we 32-pieced them, which is their worst loss ever. So
right.
That's
the worst loss ever in the Kohl Center, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you heard what I said before, but maybe don't say that to him because you're teammates. But just let him know that all he can do is dunk. So
yeah.
Joey,
but I just trust me. I won't be the one bringing up any past events with him. Yeah, not first.
But you can also let him know that I hit a game winner against this high school team in high school. You can tell him that too.
Wait, did we go 2-2 against them?
We went 0-1 our senior year. We went 1-0 our junior year. We went 1-1 the year before that, and we went 0-2 the year before that.
Yeah, that wasn't my team though. So those L's are on you.
Yeah, right. It was all my fault. Me, I just could have cheered louder, could have clapped harder. You know, it just sometimes doesn't work out that way.
Yeah, let's blame Joey on those two.
Joey, you told me once about a Wisconsin fan that maybe comes to your guys' home games every time you play Wisconsin and just screams so loud every time you guys are at the free throw line at home.
Yeah, I think it's Wisconsin that. And CJ, you tell me what you think. There's like she's like a howler. Like it sounds like, you know what I'm talking about.
I know exactly what you're talking about, but I don't remember which game it was. But yeah.
It might just be every good team that comes to the shot. They just don't want Ohio State to win. I mean,
that makes sense.
It does. Cause
you either love us or hate us.
Yeah, exactly. No matter where we go, they don't like us. So,
yeah.
But that's part of the territory of being a Buckeye. Part of the territory of being on Big X, because clearly no one – I mean, it's like you put Dockich on your team, who's going to root for you?
Yeah, we're definitely starting off slow in the supporter group.
CJ, is there anyone that you reached out to that you were like, if we get this guy, he's going to put us over the top, and then they just didn't end up playing?
Yeah, probably Jay Sean. Obviously, Joey knows just from playing with him every day in practice, he's a game changer. And just the things he can do, you know, and the type of person he is, and he's selfless. So just like that type of player mixed with that type of person, you know, that could be scary, especially for like an event like this.
Yeah, me and CJ have talked about this. Me and Doc have talked about this. I think, Andrew, even I've told this to you, if JT, if he plays in the TBT, instantly becomes the best player most likely in the entire tournament. So, I mean, it doesn't just change the team. It changes the whole landscape of the tournament.
Right.
But it's a good problem because obviously we want him to reach the ultimate goal of playing at the highest level possible. So if he can't play in the TBT, it's probably a good thing. So
yeah.
CJ, there's a bunch of other guys around the league. More and more announcements are coming every day. Have there been any announcement that you've seen that you're like, oh, I hope we get to go up against that guy?
No, I think, what was it, like 2 or 3 days ago, I seen someone signed Joe Johnson.
Overseas elite.
I'm like, does he really need to play in the TBT? Does he really need the money? But I'm like, okay, that should be kind of cool. Just, you know, playing against a guy like that has such a, like, you know, played at the highest level in the highest league, you know, all-star, just one of those type of players. I think they signed Big Baby Davis too, right?
Yeah, that was a different team.
Yeah, so Nate Robinson has a team. Team Hold That.
Right.
That's him and Big – we don't know anyone else. It's just him and Big Baby right now.
I think they're just going to play 2-on-5. Big Baby and Nate Robinson against the other team.
Honestly, that's still a lot.
That's a lethal pick and roll right there. I mean –
yeah, that's a lot still.
CJ, the way you're talking, it sounds like you're afraid of NBA players. Is that true?
Afraid? No. I'm never afraid to play anymore. But I also saw Floyd Mayweather had a team. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, he's actually playing now, he said.
Who?
Floyd.
Did he say that?
He's not playing.
Okay. I was going to say you're breaking news to world right here.
Floyd Mayweather is not playing.
I think there's videos of him really bad at basketball on YouTube. Really bad.
No, I'd want him to play then. Like, come on.
Would you rather – okay. What do you think – would you rather – okay, here's a question. For $1 million, one round in a boxing ring with him, or you got to beat him 11-0 in basketball. But if you lose either, you don't just get 0. You like go to jail for 20 years or something. You know, some crazy alternative.
Yeah.
Which one are you choosing?
Easily, he wouldn't score.
Ooh.
But he could just. But like you would say that about me, right? And I could just chuck one up and make it.
But if that were the same, I'd probably get in the ring.
Oh.
Like we'd have to grab some gloves and get in the ring.
Oh man! Wait, another inside story about Ohio State. CJ, were you on the team when Coach Mata used to give out a boxing glove to whoever played the hardest during the game?
No, but I did see the boxing glove like when I first came on my visit under the counter in the locker room. So I'm like, This is strange.
Yeah, Mickey used to put that glove on and punch Trevor. So
Wow.
CJ,
you can ask Trev to join.
That's all I can say is wow to that.
is Joey, we're gonna have to cut out like just the next 3 minutes of you laughing.
Maybe if his cousin Kata was playing, you would be.
Jeez. No,
CJ.
I'm surprised anyone doesn't have any snaps of that.
Oh man, yeah. I don't know. I have a Snapchat still of Mickey pressing Trevor against the hood of Mark's ar when he tried to get shotgun, that's probably one of the most talked about stories in the history of Ohio State basketball, at least in our locker room. Is this is before CJ got there, but where Mark Loving's driving. This is my first day. Literally my first day. We just finished playing open gym. We're driving to Sloopy's. Trevor calls shotgun in Mark's car. Mickey goes, no, you don't understand, Trev. I'm always shotgun. And they physically fought. And Trevor lost very quickly.
CJ,
and I'm sitting there like, is this normal? And Mark goes, Joey, this is not normal. But it was normal.
Yeah.
who got asked for more pictures on campus between the two of you?
Out of me and Joey?
Yeah.
Definitely Joey.
Yeah, well, that's because I went to class. So
I was an everyday student.
Actually, the funniest thing about CJ was he was always on if you were 3.0, you got to go to this banquet, and once CJ went the first time, he was like, I don't know if I want to get a 3.0 anymore. But he did. It was just a joke. And he did go to class. If you're listening out there, Mama Jackson, he went to class.
Yeah.
CJ, something we like to do to usually kind of wrap things up. We always want to give our guests the opportunity to ask us any questions that they may have. Mm-hmm. So if you have any questions, fire them on over and we'll answer them.
Okay. Who has given the worst, I guess, interview / talk so far?
Of TBT or of all the podcasts we've done?
Of the TBT podcast.
Yeah. We've only done like 5. So I don't know if that's fair.
I don't think there's a worst interview, but I could tell you that when we had John Elmore on, who is the guard who played at Marshall, and now he's
we played him.
Yeah, you guys played him. He was hilarious, and he well exceeded our expectations.
Really,
So, but no interview has been below our expectations.
Yeah.
But John, the expectations were high because we knew he was a fun, cool dude, and he blew it out of the water. He was a great interview.
Did you interview Dakich?
We haven't yet. We were kind of saving him for when something happens so we can bag on him kind of.
Yeah.
When he misses the shot to win the Elam ending in the first round instead of passing to you, we'll have him on to talk about it.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen just for our team's sake.
I mean, he won't be on the court at the end, so you can't miss the shot if he's on the court.
Right. We did see him fumble the ball the last time he was on the court.
Oh, yeah, if we want to talk Indiana basketball games, Dakich tried to literally cheat and give them the game. And that's why if you guys see Dan Dakich tweeting about that, that's why CJ Jackson will never, ever have to pay for a dinner ever again. It's because CJ ended up hitting the game winner after Dakich turned the ball over for us to almost lose the game. So there's that.
All right, CJ, I mean, I can't think of anything else. Anything, the people listening may not have decided on a team yet.
I got another question.
Go ahead.
DJ, you're a very creative guy, and you don't get enough credit for how creative you are. Who would you want to see in the tournament maybe next year, whether it's alumni teams, any mismatch of teams, players? Who would you want to play against?
That's tough. Alumni. I'll probably go alumni team. Or I like to see an ACC try to kind of do what the Big X is doing.
That team would be
might be a little crazy team right there.
We talked about last episode. We kind of did our own version of who we would want to see. And the number one guy, my first pick was Tyler Hansbrough. Like that guy, that would be just like off the charts. And I know you're a Carolina boy, so you kind of get it.
Wait, how do you think does he play still?
Yeah, he played in China last year, I think.
Okay, I'm about to say that. Does he still have it?
Yeah, but a lot of these guys are like they're on the way out,
Right.
That's probably – I mean, we probably should have asked why the Big X has the advantage of being one of the youngest teams in the tournament. Do you think there's some truth to that?
I think so. Just young, fresh legs are always good, We got a couple guys like fresh out of college or 1 year removed. And then we got a couple guys that are, what we consider old heads. So we have a mix of both, but not really like the 27 to 30,
Do you kind of look at this year as championship or bust, or are you trying to build something? Carmen's crew didn't win in their second year. Are you trying to build something?
I wouldn't call it championship or bust, but I would I am in it to win it, Of
course.
I'm not really thinking about what happens next year in the tournament obviously last year was a good experience to kind of get that under your belt, but now it's time to go win the thing.
Was it weird last year? Because it's been well documented that us young Ohio State players, former Ohio State players, played a lot against the old Ohio State players in the summers.
It was literally like an open gym. Right,
yeah, exactly. Was it weird that you just brought the open gym, put on jerseys, and just changed the courts?
It was definitely a little different. Like the first game we played the Wildcats from West Virginia, and it was a lot more like a normal game where you just you're not really saying much to the other team. You kind of all just doing your own thing. And then the next game we played Carmen's crew, and it's like head-to-head battle with John Diebler or talking shit to Will, just like whatever it is. Just it was fun. I thought it was fun, but this year I'm definitely not in it for the fun. I would say.
Oh,
I'm trying.
I think it's safe to say that you will probably be in the same bracket as Carmen's crew again, because that's what the people want, and I know you're excited about that. I think another thing that we're trying to get going here at Inside the TBT is a 3-point contest.
Okay.
You guys, obviously, you're going to be quarantined with not much to do. Even though you're in Columbus right now, you're probably not going to be able to leave wherever you're quarantined.
Right.
So there's going to have to be more activities. They already have the dunk contest where you got to dunk on people. I'm assuming you're not going to want to do that.
I thought about it.
First of all, CJ had one of the best dunk packages of any guy on the team, but he just never wanted to dunk. So that was
not true.
That. Okay, who's better last year?
On our team?
Yeah. Name 4 guys that were better.
I would say we didn't have a super athletic, bouncy team.
Caleb sneaky bouncy.
No. You can touch the rim without jumping.
Caleb is not sneaky bouncy. He has a lot to his game, though.
Dre is sneaky bouncy. You guys don't even know. Bouncy. Oh, man. Our shoot-around clips of Dre doing between-the-legs dunks, behind-the-back dunks.
I was just looking at those last week. It was crazy. He literally went to every venue not pulling off one dunk.
Literally, we would go to shoot-around. We would do our thing. Like some shoot-arounds, we would barely sweat. Some we'd be dripping in sweat. It just depended on how Holt was feeling that day.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, we'd all sit to everyone, Eagles yelling, guys, we got to go. But Dre's staying on the court trying to do off the backboard windmills and throwing it up, letting it bounce, trying to go between his legs. And Pito's looking at Dre like, have you ever dunked before in your life? And
you just hear Coach T yelling in the background, come on, Dre, like in his high-pitched voices.
Oh, man. It's so funny how the players at a shoot-around, they want to – I love shooting at opposing teams' stadiums. Like, when it's empty, like, it's the coolest thing ever. And then all the coaches are like, no. I got 4 more hours of film to watch. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
And we're like, all we're going to do is take a shower and take a nap. Maybe we don't even take a shower. Maybe we just take a nap. We got nowhere to be.
Nowhere. They try to enforce a study hall or a study table. Just to pass time.
Does Coach Dockich have film sessions?
He better not. I don't know. It might still be early. I don't know if he has film, though.
Oh, man. Oh, film sessions. If we're talking about film sessions, my freshman year, I was tasked with sitting next to Daniel Giddens during film just so he didn't fall asleep. And I would smack him if he fell asleep. we didn't have many of those problems. But didn't Caleb fall asleep one time? Were you even?
Probably. Yeah.
I sat next to you. You were on my left.
Yeah.
Caleb was on my right. I'm pretty sure like Coach T would sit next to Caleb because Caleb got dangerous. All the Westons, man, they can just fall asleep wherever they want to.
Yeah, I think Dre might have, faded out like once or twice.
Oh, and Connor absolutely fell asleep, and so did Justin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Maybe even Dwayne. But it's not their fault. I mean, the chairs are pretty comfortable.
Did you know? Here's a little inside scoop from Inside TBT. Do you know how the chairs were made?
In the shot? No.
They brought in like 4 different types, and they brought in Sully, and they said, "Sully, sit down."
Why would they
What's
do
the most
that?
comfortable?
See, they're setting people up right there for failure.
I know. I mean, it's just like I sit in them, and you too. Like we can barely put our feet on the ground.
Yeah. It's comfortable.
It's
I'm
very
good.
comfortable. We literally watch film in a movie theater.
As long as I got my apple juice with me, I'm good.
Yeah, see, that just all comes back to the beginning where we would go lift and come down and watch film, and I would get people's drinks because that's my role is just be a good teammate. And I would get maybe a Powerade, maybe a Propel, maybe a protein shake if someone needed a protein shake, and then I'd get CJ apple juice. So that just goes to show you that some people had to work on their body a little bit more than others.
I worked.
No, you did. I know, and I got to give you a hard time, or else.
Yeah. You and Q.
I remember coming back and Q telling me, "Hey, Joe, we got an open slot for the body pod. You want to see what you're at?" And I said, "Absolutely not. I've gained 12 pounds in the last month since the season ended." So.
No, I probably won't do the body fat check ever again.
No, but you'll run the shot lap, which for those of you that don't know, a lap around the shot is how much? See?
I know 2.5 laps is a mile, so I don't know, like maybe a lap and a third.
Yeah, we used to. I mean, like
No,
we would run out on the concrete like it's literally the stories we're gonna tell our grandkids where they make fun of us for, overstating everything. But like we would literally run on the concrete outside the shot and sprint, 500 meters for time. And if we didn't get it, we would do it until we got the time and literally be out.
No, like everyone had to get it though. It didn't matter. Like everyone had to get it, and then we just go in and lift like it was nothing, and come back out and lunge.
And now you're doing that voluntarily.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
I have to. It's quarantine.
That's the type of athletes, man, that come with the TBT. Clearly, it doesn't just happen.
Yeah, you can be in the track and field competition too, it seems like.
Ooh, no, that's where I got to draw the line.
Okay, you're a very humble guy, see, but we know that when we did our 40 test, you were the fastest by like 0.3 of a second. You know that, right?
Like the sprints?
Yes.
Yeah, I can do sprints all day. Like those are easy, yeah.
Yeah, you're good for a 100-yard dash.
But once you start talking about running miles, that's where you'll lose me.
Yeah, no, it's funny because I would be Dockich in a sprint, and then if we're running the miles, somehow he's faster than me.
Yeah. But those days are probably over. I would actually pay to see both you guys run the mile against each other. Today.
I would be a plus 400 underdog. No chance. I would run it in 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
I don't know.
Dude, I couldn't run it in under 6 minutes when I was in the best shape of my life.
Yeah, okay, maybe that's true. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, this has been a blast. Unless you have any other questions for us, we're really I know Andrew's too, but I'm really excited for this Big X team because I mean it's just a group of my teammates. Just without me, somehow my invitation must got lost in the mail. But that's it's a different. Hey, we're good. We're all good here. I'm your biggest fan still. Don't worry about it. So appreciate you coming on, and look forward to seeing you in Columbus soon.
Yeah, definitely. Both of you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.
Joey, tell the fam I said hello.
Absolutely. Wait 1 second.